Hello, 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 everyone. My name is Sonia Marie. And if you're a cross watcher, welcome. I appreciate you being here. For all of those that come back because you got a little notification and you're like, Sonia's up. Hey, how you doing? Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Today is May 25th, 2020. And I'm glad that you're here. I pray that you are celebrating wherever you are safely and loving up on those people in the way that you need to, your people in the way that you need to, hug up your family and your friends, again, safely. But, do yourself a favor and remember those that have gone before us. I was thinking earlier, just a little tidbit of my opinion while people float on in here, is I was thinking like, I'm not a big war person. I'm not a big military person. And there's no shade or judgment against those who are. But I was really thinking you must have to have some kind of spirit, some kind of resilience, some kind of connection and understanding of a higher power in order to die for a country that gives two fucks about you. And I mean that sincerely. I'm not trying to start no shit, but I do know that's a real thought. Like they care in a sense because I want to have, I guess I'm here and I'm not like worse off like other countries, but at the same time, it's like the policies and all the things that have come to a head and all the things that are not only visible in this year and within the last 10 years, but throughout history, people continue to want to have pride for this country and die for them, for us, for our freedom. It's a notion. It's something to think about. So I take my hat off. I take my open up my heart. I really say thank you because Sonia's not that chick. However, I will fight on the front line for us doing this spiritual work that I think that we all should tap into do because at the end of the day, spirit rides over everything, right? God bless those people that have lost their family in service. God bless us all. But they are flying in their spirit right now, knowing that the things that they did on the planet was for the good of all. And that's admirable. That's something to celebrate and say thank you for. So I hope I said that in a way in which you guys can understand. Hi to everybody. Hi, Claude. Hi, Ruthie. Hi, Lee. What's up, John? Michi is here. Audrey is here. Hi, Yaya. What's up, Rich Brown girl? That's right. You better claim that shit. Rich Brown girl. Sarah is here. Hi, William. Walaikum salam to you. What's going on? Miss Reese 63 and Sarah. Leisha's here. Hi, Jua. Kiss some babies for me, sweetie pie. Alana is here. Oh, I love when y'all roll on through. And I love shouting people out and saying hello. Okay, let's get this thing started. That's 3 minutes and 17 seconds to end. This is an interesting week in which I entitled, what I entitled it? The Magic Carpet Ride. The magic carpet ride. I mean, man, here's the reason why. We're slowly about to wait, squirrel. Let me back up just a little bit. For the students that are out there, have you recognized, and I'm sure I've made mention to this before, but I want to reiterate for those who already know, and I want to spark something in you because I love teaching and doing my workshops, and I haven't done them in a really, really long time. By the way, if you want to know more about me, check out the description box below the video, and my website is there, and all kinds of links and stuff you can get familiar with your girl. Listen, have you noticed as we roll into a different season, it may be obvious after I say this, but as we roll into a different season, the sun being that season, we're in the season of Gemini now, we'll go into the season of Cancer, that the neighboring planets, such as Mercury, such as Venus and Mars in particular, usually are around about close to the same sign as the season. It's purposeful because they ride close to the sun. And those particular planets, by the way, are personal planets, right? Venus has to do with how we love and our value and our worth and our money. Mercury is how we speak, how we process information. And Mars is our aggression, our sex, and how we move. So it's very interesting to know Think about it. Intuitive learning, I like to say, because this is science and it's math and it's all of that. But when you really tap into who you are, you tap into spirit, you tap into the information that comes through as you're reading astrology, you can kind of put two and two together and be intuitive about that thing and be like, wow. So Mercury, Venus, and Mars is rolling close to the sun to do what? Activate your core, activate your sun. Whatever your sun is in that moment, Venus and Mercury and Mars comes to assist. Does that make sense? It's something very, very necessary to pay attention to, y'all, because what's assisting the sun is ultimately like your right hand, like your left hand. Like I call these other planets outside of the sun, which the sun is not a planet, of course, but everything else outside of the sun are like appendages. So what's helping along in this moment? I said all of that shit to say this. Understand, I'm a teacher. Mercury is like an appendage, as I just mentioned, right? It's how we think, it's how we process information, it's how we set things up, how we strategize things. Now, the sun itself right now is in Gemini. Bust this. Mercury is Gemini's ruler. Slick Rick the ruler. You get that? Mercury is Gemini's ruler. We're in the season of Gemini. Ding, 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 which will say to me as an astrologer, well, that means Mercury is going to be highlighted. It's almost like Mercury is riding shotgun because of the season that we're in. We're in Gemini season that says, yeah, Mercury is, Mercury is the shit because it rules me. So it's going to sit right beside me. So when it goes into Cancer on Thursday, that's a huge deal. And by the way, it's going to go into Cancer on Thursday. It's going to go retrograde on June 18th. It's going to go direct on July 12th, staying in the sign of Cancer. And then we'll stay in Cancer and pop into Leo on August 4th. Does that make sense to y'all? That's a huge deal. So that's a long time. Mercury usually stays in a sign maybe like 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the year and the degrees and what's happening, right? But when it goes retrograde, it goes back for a second and it goes forward. So, but it still stays in that energy. The reason why I'm harping on this, because Mercury in Cancer gives us all an opportunity to stop. I just said this on Instagram real quick, to stop, to listen, to pay attention. Out of all of the aspects in my particular chart, and I can speak to this very, very true, I really love the fact that I have Mercury in Cancer. Why? It makes me extremely intuitive. It makes me listen better than most. It makes me connect with people's heart. And this is what I am offering up to you. Regardless of what your natal Mercury is in, regardless of what your sun sign is in, when Mercury is in in Cancer, and it has this vibration that's about to take over us, it says until August 4th, do yourself a favor and listen. Gemini energy wants us to talk straight away. I was saying that to myself the other day. I was like, what the hell? Like I was just rambling. And then I felt like a little kid that, on Christmas Day that just wanted to share everything. And it was coming off so naturally. And to be truthful with you, I'm not a huge talker, contrary to these what these broadcasts and stuff may show about your girl's personality. I'd rather sit back and watch or join in or laugh every now and again when my Leo self comes up, even though I am a Cancer. But normally I'm like tucked in within myself. Ooh, with Gemini energy, I'm just talking. So I suggest to me and to other people, when this vibration of Mercury goes into Cancer, that we become better listeners. We become passionate listeners. We become emotional listeners. We listen with the idea and the intent of opening up somebody's chest with our words and going straight to their heart for understanding. That's a big deal right now. Get this. A lot of people don't think they're being heard. Whether it's from their local governments, whether it's from the federal government, whether it's from their current employer or their most recent employer. Maybe they're holding on to some money. Maybe it's from their spouse and or their girlfriend or boyfriend. Squirrel, by the way, which I really pray that we give a big prayer up to those that are in abusive relationships that have to sit around with their husbands or their wives who are not too kind in this moment. Hence, Mercury going into Cancer. And God bless you if you are one of those people. But this is a moment in time in which you can utilize your words in the most emotional, most forthright leader, because Cancer energy is the leader of emotions, where you can sit in that space and say, listen, this is why I don't like when this happens. Or when you can think to yourself, listen, we need to get the fuck up out of here. I just wanted to say that as an example. And but a very extreme way, one of the extreme ways in which we can utilize Mercury in Cancer. But at the very least, what's been on your mind? What's been on your heart? How are you not receiving what it is that you need to receive from different people because of the way you're communicating? Sometimes it's just about how you say a thing. Yes, yes, y'all. Can I get a something on that? It's about how you say something. Think about it, y'all. Oftentimes we go, oh, but I demand this because it's fair, or the rules say X, Y, and Z, or I'm just gonna push through and do what I need to do and say what I need to say, and you better give it to me. Like that kind of forthrightness, yeah. But when Mercury gets into Cancer, it says, first of all, pipe down. Because people, truthfully, y'all, they don't have to do shit. Understand that. Regardless of your laws, and we see that all day, every day, regardless of the laws, regardless of the rules, regardless of your relationship to somebody, regardless if you wake up next to them in bed every single day for the next 35 years, people are not obligated to do anything. However, when we speak to people with a kind heart, with an open vulnerability, when we can actually just be wide open, like that Cancer energy says, and goes, yo, I'm putting my heart on my sleeve right now. What you said or what you did or how we're doing this or what needs to happen, I think we should do X, Y, and Z from the core. Do y'all get that? Mercury in Cancer is speaking to that in the season in which everybody wants to talk because it's Gemini season. Gemini don't like to go deep. So that Mercury in Cancer has to force it to go deep. Are y'all hearing me? Oftentimes when we speak to or when we're listening to somebody, let me start there. When we're listening, and as you already noticed, because there are thousands of memes on it, and you probably heard it in therapy or your grandma say it, listen to people and what they're saying, as opposed to waiting till they get to the end of the sentence so you can implement your thoughts and your feelings and defend yourself. Oftentimes, people have a point, a real valid point. Now, if that point agrees with you or not, or you're not on the same line, that's your prerogative and that's how you were raised, and you can agree to disagree. But to really stay focused, patient, listen to people say what it is that they feel on their heart, 9 times out of 10, you can see how a person gets to that end, gets to that process of thought. And you go, God damn, I really didn't think about it like that. Because first of all, I stopped to listen to your ass. I stopped to pay attention to what you were really saying, as opposed to me trying to defend myself and get my point out. Are y'all hearing me? You don't have to agree. You do not have to agree, but it's always good to listen to people from an open-hearted perspective, because in that moment in time, you can see how they got there, and then you can come up with a viable solution. That makes sense, y'all? Yes, yes, y'all? Y'all get that? Come on now. I know this may seem like it's elementary, but let me tell you about Sonia. I'm going to be straight up and down. And about the clients that I have, the work that I do, and the work I do on my goddamn self, is that it's not enough to know Gemini energy. It's not enough to know the information, the resources, the books that you have in order to implement these ideas. We have to practice. Practice. Put yourself, please, and very please, in vulnerable situations in which you can practice to listen to your children, to your spouses, to your boyfriend and girlfriends, to your friends who are having a really hard time and they don't necessarily want to say it. Listen, y'all, does this make sense? At the same time, on that day, on Thursday, when Mercury goes into Cancer, I have to say this, and it kind of parlays into what I just said, but ride with me, y'all. Y'all with me? Oh, y'all so sweet. I love that. I love that. Thank you, Michi. Hi, Brianna. Hi, Katrina. Check this out. On the same day, and then I'm gonna end it. On the same day, um, that Mercury goes into Cancer, the moon will sextile Venus. Now, we all know, if you've been following my broadcast, hi, Sandrine, we all know, if you've been following my broadcast, or if you, study with other people, or you just happen to know that Venus is retrograde. And we've been teasing about the fact that Venus is love. When it's in retrograde, it goes backwards in motion and basically allows us to review these different lovers or past lovers or the idea of love and how we've been going through life. And we start to review it. We start to recognize what we like and what we don't like. Bust this though. On that same day, on Thursday, the moon will sextile that reviewing process of Venus going retrograde. Let me tell you, even though the moon is fluctuating and it goes in and out, I want y'all to pay attention to that particular aspect in conjunction with that Mercury going into Cancer. Why? I can't even talk. Look at my logic. Check this out. With Mercury going into Cancer, Venus is in Gemini. Gemini. Venus is in Gemini. Gemini is the ruler of Mercury. Boom, bounce the light back to Mercury. So Venus is saying in Gemini, let's look to our ruler, Mercury, to see what is we need to be feeling about this reviewing process. Did that go over everybody's head? Did that just go over everybody's head? I'm not embarrassed to repeat it if it did. Again, like I said, sometimes I take my time to try to teach because it's not enough for me to know. You got to figure it out for your goddamn self. Does that make sense? Listen. So, y'all got it? Y'all got it? Ooh, Sarah got it. All right, Rabbi. I call you Robbie, but I don't know if it's Robbie or Rabbi. I don't know what that is, to be true with you. But I hope you don't mind if I just call you Robbie. Natasha, you got it? Yes, repeat, Alana said. Bust it. Venus right now, the former, the Venus is in Gemini. Gemini's ruler is Mercury. On the same day, on Thursday, Mercury goes into Cancer. So when Venus is doing its review, going, all right, what's going on? We're in Gemini. Gemini goes, oh, wait, hold on. My planet is going into a different sign, a different vibration, is having a different outfit. We got to call them up and see what's up. We got to call them up and see what's the order of the day, how we're supposed to talk now, how we're supposed to view this love thing now, because my ruler is in a different sign. It's in a different vibration. Scratch the needle on the record. We got to do something different. Do y'all understand that now? That's a big deal. So if the moon, even though it fluctuates signs, it's sextile in that Venus retrograde in Gemini. Y'all hope y'all got that, right? This is the deal. This is the deal. People can come back and try to question your value system. People can come back and try to question how you need to be loved. And Mercury in Cancer says this: instead of popping off on them, instead of hanging up the phone on them, instead of getting frustrated and a little out of sorts with people coming back into your lives, reviewing their love, professing their love, trying to get you to understand who they are, instead of popping off, Mercury in Cancer says, listen. This might sound like I'm reiterating, but I'm getting specific now, because on that day, not only are you listening to people trying to profess their love, they can be coming at you like, yo, you used to be like this, Sonia. Well, you know what? I'm not anymore. Mercury in Cancer says, and let me tell you why. Not pop off, fucking kick rocks, do what you need to do. No, let me tell you why. Your boss may be holding out your check. Venus is money. Somebody is holding some money and you go, okay, different approach. Instead of me popping off with this Venus in my money going retrograde, and my sun is and the moon is sextiling that in a happy way, let me figure out how to really say this to get some results. Are y'all hearing me? This may not be important to you right now, You may thought you was going to come on here and hear something else, or maybe you had no expectations whatsoever. But know that this situation on Thursday, if you're sensitive enough, you're probably feeling it now. If you're not, maybe around Tuesday or Thursday, it'll lead up to that. If you haven't really been paying attention, it will surely hit you on Thursday, and you will be called to use your words, your inside voice, boo-boo. Nobody can hear you when you screaming. Mm-mm. It's not necessary to do that. Why? Because there's a carpet ride happening this week. With that, among other aspects is going on, we are being asked to not only float, but go on this magic carpet ride to recognize what you receive from the floating. Does that make sense? Yes, yes, y'all. What you receive from being kind, what you receive from listening, what you receive from just staying, on your nice little glide for a little while without anybody coming down and trying to disturb it. Now, what I did notice here, and I'm talking to the village about it, I'll give y'all one little tidbit, but I have a lot of details. One more tidbit on that same day on Thursday, as the moon kind of goes off into a whole nother sign. It's in Leo, but it goes off and affects a different part of the universe, Pluto. Okay, so as we're rolling on this magic carpet ride and we're trying our best to communicate and learn how to ask for what we want, how to influence people with our heart center, heart talk. Mercury in Cancer says, heart talk, please. Be vulnerable enough to look like a fucking fool for who you love and what you want. Be vulnerable enough to open your heart and say, I don't care how it looks, but I want you. That kind of feeling. And I may not get you, but I'm going to stand right here in my space and profess that. Because if it's not you, I'm doing this exercise for the next person. I skirted off, squirrel, but I'm coming back. On that same day, right, the moon in Leo is going to quincunx Pluto, which says, as you're riding along this magic carpet ride and you're feeling the light and the energy of communicating softly from the heart, you can get distracted by some glitzy shit. Why? Because the moon in Leo quincunx Pluto, which has a little power push, right? And that power push in Pluto says, yeah, we might be riding, but can we dip down and go to the mall real quick and pick up that shirt that we like? Is that important? The example is more like this. Don't get distracted by the shiny things. If you're professing your love and you're that person that's saying, no, this is not who I am anymore. I'm actually like this. And then all of a sudden they say, and I'm going to be straight up and down, y'all, I'm from Yonkers. I don't have time to play around. And all of a sudden they go, yeah, I know who you are, but one night? Just one night? Can we just get it in one night? That's the shiny distraction, is what I'm trying to tell you. I heard what you said. It sounds really good, but can we start tomorrow? Can we have some makeup sex tonight and then I never ever call you again? Here's my answer. No. No and hell no. Why? Because the brat, the power pull from Pluto is trying to make that person or the situation ride to one side. I hope y'all understand that. It's not about the love and the change that you're going through. It's about Pluto saying, I still got control. I still got that shit. Even though that motherfucker professed that they were changing and they were doing this thing and they was leveling up and they know their value in their worth system. They know they can make money. They know this and that, blah, 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 blah. Even though they told me this for the last 2 hours, I still stuck it. Oh my God. First of all, because of some power shit. First of all, don't do yourself like that. Men or women, I don't care who you are. I'm not just speaking for my sisters. I'm speaking for both of us. I'm just saying, although that may sound like a very simple understanding and example, apply that to anything in your life that's threatening your worth and your value system this week. Ride that magic carpet ride. Understand that you can say whatever it is that you want to say from your heart. Understand that you can listen with equal compassion, but you stand your ground. And you stay on this magic carpet ride to take you places in which you've never been before. Y'all have no idea what's on the other side of this. I don't either, for that matter. But I will tell you this. I've had glimpses. I've had visions. We are going in the next couple of years, y'all, this place, and it may seem like years. Okay, damn, it's going to take that long. Listen, they don't deal with time. Remember, they don't deal with time. Our ancestors are guides. Those on the other side, the worlds that surround this little small minute of a freaking world, they don't deal with space and time. They deal with how well you're growing, how far you've come in learning yourself, how connected you are to God. If you're not given what it is that you want, maybe you're not doing enough work on you. They're not giving you anything prematurely. Remember, that has nothing to do with time. I don't care how long you've been scraping and scrapping. If you still petty and you still spending money, you still talking about people, you still holding on grudges, you still doing the things that you know that you can't do or you shouldn't do in order to better the person, you're not receiving whatever it is you need to receive from the universe. Understand this, y'all. This is a moment in time from the other side of this. If we do the work right now, continue to do the work. The other side of this will be able to appreciate the sparkles and the glitz. Don't get distracted about what's happening right now because they promise nothing. You know why? Because everything is falling apart. Get on the carpet ride. Ride your magic in the best way you know how by number one, doing your work. By number two, staying calm. And as far as Mercury is concerned, speak and listen from your heart center. It's necessary because that's how you get to the truth of everything. It's all in the heart. People misconstrue the heart vibration for being a little overzealous, way too much, exaggerating. But it's the truth. It's your core. It's your truth. The brain gets in there and starts misconstruing shit and wants to break things down and compartmentalize and organize, which is perfect for work and things that you need to, systematically put together. But the heart always knows. The heart knows and the brain executes. Okay, if that's what you want to do, heart, this is how we're going to do it. When you flip that shit and you working from your brain completely and your heart is like, yo, but I didn't want to do that shit. I don't care. We got this. Do you? Do you really, brain? In Gemini season, yes, I'm going against that shit because the brain is necessary as a servant to the heart and the soul. As you are thinking your best thoughts, Gemini energy, Gemini North Node, Gemini Sun, and what was the other thing? Gemini New Moon last week, right? As you're thinking your best thoughts and planning and strategizing, open up your heart and see what it really wants to do and communicate with people from that space so they can assist you or at the very least get the fuck out the way. That's it. That's all I got. 26 minutes later. I love y'all. And I really pray that this landed somewhere on you, in you. I pray that you share it if it did, because that's all we can do in this moment in time is just continue to uplift each other in the ways that we know how, however you know how, baking a cake or coming on YouTube. I love y'all. I really do. Be good to yourself, all right? I see you soon. And happy Memorial Day. Bye.